Without you, I would have lost it all.
And now I see
How you were there for me, and I can say I'm stronger. Oh, I'm just gonna jump to the front part.
I'm wiser.
I'm
better.
What? Much better.
What we doing? So much better or much better?
I was about to say so.
You said so. You said much.
I messed it up. My bad, bro.
Well, so much better. Hey, but this is Manifestors, bro. Episode number 19 in the building.
20.
It's 20?
20.
20? 20?
20.
Hey, you know, many podcasts don't make it past episode 20. They typically fall around, like, I think it's like episode 8.
Many podcasts don't have a great setup like this. Or good
That's
quality.
facts. That's facts. That's facts. But this is your boy Tay.
This your boy Dev.
Calvin.
Damn, bro.
And this is our boy Calvin.
Can we get your introduction?
Yeah, no.
He got a whole introduction for you, bro.
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
This is Calvin.
Hello, people.
This is Calvin.
No, we ain't got no introduction to Calvin. We're gonna let him explain everything himself, because I know for a fact he got more to say than I got to say. So, Calvin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Calvin Calloway. Grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Went to Renaissance High School. Graduated from Eastern Michigan with my bachelor's and master's in accounting, CPA, assistant controller at a automotive company, part-time entrepreneur. Man. I'm working full-time on my dreams.
So, what does CPA stand for?
I like that little. I like the last one.
That dream.
That little mic drop.
I like. Here's about.
CPA is a certified public accountant, so pretty much I took these hard. Can I cuss?
Mm-hmm.
You can say hey,
right,
feel free to be yourself, my boy.
I took these 4 hard ass tests and passed all of those, and pretty much it says that I knew what I was talking about then, but I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about now. So
Yeah, no,
got
that was a way better intro than I was gonna do. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna give a little spiel, and it wasn't gonna sound too great. But no, we grateful because hey, y'all.
I can't forget I'm a fiance too.
Hey,
Yeah,
put that out there.
Ah, damn. That makes 2 of y'all, huh?
I ain't gonna lie. The one thing about men and like
Oh,
being
man,
out in
I ain't
public, it don't be no ring.
Yeah.
So, well, you talking about, am I really a fiance?
Yeah.
I'm messing with you. I'm playing. Hey, chill. I know. You know it.
You better be in trouble.
No, for real. It's cool. As long as I'm home by curfew. No, I'm playing. But no, we're gonna make that transition into viral clips just to start out. The viral clips is pretty much where we view a viral clip, talk about how we feel about it, and just go from there. So go ahead, start on that.
Some people say, well, it says money is the root of all evil. It don't say that. It says for the love of money. It don't say money is the root. It says for the love is money. Money answereth all things. Die and don't leave no money and see how they cry. Die and leave some money. They don't cry long. They don't cry long when you leave some money. Motherfucker ain't sad. And you done left something for them to get. They celebrate you, come put flowers and everything out there on that motherfucking graveyard for the next 7 generations.
So how y'all feel about that as far as money being the root of all evil?
We're going to let Calvin go first.
I think the statement, the money is the root of all evil. Well, the love of money is the root of all evil is true. Because to me that means that you're pretty much willing to do whatever to get money, whether that's selling drugs, whether that's killing people, or even something as simple as taking away time from your family.
Yeah.
Like, you're pretty much just willing to do whatever to get financial gain, and that's not always necessarily the right thing to be focused on.
Yeah, no, I mean, similar back to that time when we talked about that 21 song with I'd rather have loyalty over love, because love truly don't mean anything, because like you can have love for money, you can have love for people, but at the end of the day, it really tells a lot about your character based off of where your loyalty is. Right. So Like just off of love itself, people willing to do whatever. Just like people willing to say whatever with love. So it's like, yeah, no, I'm straight on that. Good. It's hard to come by, especially with good people, because if you put money into the situation, everybody get a little weird. Like, say if this really became a whole money thing and money driven, you would see an entirely different side of people if they weren't true and authentic from the jump.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really mess with people.
I mean,
like
that's
that.
another reason why you got to pick your people carefully. Money will change people, especially if we're talking about like large amounts, especially when we start tapping into businesses, which is the topic of this podcast. But as I continue to walk on this path with God, I'm truly starting to realize how money plays a part in the Bible. There was a couple of sermons that I watched on YouTube talking about how in the Bible, being broke is a sin, or you are not designed to be broke. You are designed to be wealthy or have money so that way you can help. So I truly feel like money is a necessary evil to some people, but it's a necessary evil. And we can't really do the things that we want to do without money. It's just the love of it, that want, that deep desire. Like I gotta go get this money
By any means.
By any means.
Yeah.
Even if it's stabbing my brother in the back,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's giving up a child or giving up an organ, or even spending time with the wrong crowd. So, like how Calvin said, you doing the wrong thing for money is a bad thing.
Yeah, no, that's facts. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what, if everything stems from money, like if that's your foundation and whatever you chasing, you on the wrong journey as is from the jump. Like it's raps.
Like as long as you're chasing your passion, the money gonna be there.
That's
regardless.
facts. It's gonna come around.
So,
But shoot, let's go ahead and start. We can slide right into these questions. So we got a little gist of who you are as a person. So we know about money. So today's topic is actually leveraging business.
Right.
So we're just gonna ask you some questions around that. What really drove you towards business in itself, like the financial side of everything?
So it kind of go back to what we just talked about. I was actually the type of person that was very, very motivated by money. Like everything that I wanted was related to money, whether that's the cars I wanted, houses, clothes, and now that's kind of changed. And don't get me wrong, money is still important to me, but it's not like the number one factor in everything for me.
Yeah.
So now, like, for example, I have, I guess you could say a car business where I rent out 2 cars. I have a Camaro and I have a Benz. And originally it was, just to make money. And it still is to an extent, but I kind of want to provide like an experience for people. So making somebody feel like, for the X amount of days that they have the car, like that they're that, that they that person. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, money was the original intent, but now it's more about providing a good service for people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You did that one day. I did see you, and I got in your car. I'm like, this is nice. Like it's a whole different feeling. Like y'all know how Steve Harvey said, if you never sat in first class, sit in first class, just to feel it, because you feel it entirely different. Like it ain't even on no like disrespectful, like, oh, they walking past me like y'all broke, but you kind of do feel like that a little bit. But I'm saying, but just to feel it is good. It's a good experience though.
yeah, I ain't gonna cap. I feel that way whenever I'm in the Escalade.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
But nah. You talking about providing that experience, and you wanted to start a business to provide that experience. What was like the first step that you did in starting that business?
I think the first main thing that I did was checking out like what's the competition. So in a car rental business, you got Enterprise, you got Avis, and then you have an app called Turo where you can rent out your own personal cars. And so like 3 years ago, I had told myself, I'm gonna wait to get a car, and my car ended up going down. So I ended up getting the Benz, and it was like one of my favorite cars, honestly. And I was like, well, I'm not driving this car every day, and how can I leverage this? How can I make money with it and, you know, still mitigate some risk and pretty much pay off the note? And so I started putting the car on Turo, which is the car. It's pretty much like Airbnb for cars. And I got my first rental like a few days after I put the car on there, and I was like kind of hooked because it was like I'm enjoying making the money. I'm not really doing anything but maintenance and upkeep that I already had to do. So it's just it's like, why not do it?
So with starting that business, like what all did it take though? Like, did you have to have an LLC starting with working with Toro? Did you have some type of paperwork or financial stuff that you had to show?
So initially it was just more so about making sure the car was upkept, like no check engine lights, like all the maintenance was taken care of. But as I, learn more about the tax side of things and like how money actually works, I realized like, okay, I kind of need to make an LLC so that way I can not only get income, but I can also write off the expenses that's related to it. So for example, one day I was driving home and a rock hit my windshield and it cracked all the way across it. And I wouldn't feel comfortable renting out a car, whatever car it was, let alone the Mercedes, with a big crack in the windshield. So I ended up, getting that fixed, and that was like $800. Now, had I not had an LLC, I would have just had to eat that $800. But since I had an LLC, I could expense it, and that $800 is going to offset the income that I had from renting a car from that year.
So I guess in your opinion, based off of that, you would say LLC is definitely very important when starting out your business.
Definitely. Main reason is for taxes, because it can lower your tax liability, increase your refund potentially. And then the other reason is because it separates you from the business. So like say we have a business, and we'll say all three of us are in a business, and somebody sues us, but we don't have an LLC set up. It's just a generic partnership. Then they can come after all of our assets if whatever they're suing for doesn't cover the cost. But if we have an LLC, all they can go for is what's inside the LLC.
Oh, so they can't. So it's pretty much our personal assets versus like whatever's under our LLC.
Umbrella. So the whole purpose of the LLC is it's called a Limited Liability Company. So the liability is limited to that company. They can't come to you. They can't come to the partnership. Well, can't come to us individually to try to get whatever they're trying to get.
So, I feel like I know a little bit about LLCs, but if you can explain like what's the difference between like a partnership LLC, or just pretty much run down the different LLC types that are out there. Because I know for sure you have like sole proprietor, partnership. Once you get like a bigger business, you can go like escort. Like if you don't mind just running through that.
Yep, I got you. So the most basic form of a business would be a sole proprietorship. And that's pretty much just, I'm doing business, but I don't have any paperwork. I don't have anything really legally set up. So that kind of goes back to having why I would advocate for LLC, because it, gives you that limited liability. But from a sole proprietorship, then you can have a partnership, which is pretty much the same thing, but it's just with more than one person. From there, you go to a LLC, which is what we just discussed. And then you can also have a limited liability partnership, which is the same thing, but that's usually for like lawyers, accountants, more like professionals, I guess you would say. And then from there, you have S corps. It's not really a beast, but it's like kind of a lot of nuanced information. And the last thing is a C corp, which is like your big company like a Nike or Apple or anything like that.
So we're going to use like a real life example right now. Say if I wanted to create Manifestors Media, right? I wanted to have, a partnership with you guys. What type of LLC would I need to do that? And how will we go about writing off expenses at the end of the year? Will it affect all of our taxes, all of our individual taxes at the end of the year? Like, how would that go?
Yep. So say it really depends on how you want to set it up, actually. So if it's me, you, and Tay, we can split it up 33% equally, or you can have the partnership written up to where, well, let me back up. The first thing that you will want to make is an LLC, but it would just be a multi-member LLC. So it'll be 3 people a part of it. You can split it up to where it's 33% equally, or
50, 25, 25.
yeah,
Like
you
it's-
could do it
whatever.
however you want to do it, and that's how you would allocate the income too. So say you have 10,000 in income for the year. If we split it up 50, 25, 25, 25, 5, 25, 25. And so it's really just about how you want to set it up, because you can do it however you want, but I would definitely recommend doing a limited liability company.
Okay.
So what would you say, like, when starting a limited liability company like a LLC, what's like the most important things, or say the 3 most important things that somebody should consider when starting a LLC?
I think the main thing is, will you be profitable? Or do you think whatever you're doing is going to be profitable? If you're creating a business just simply to lower your tax bill, that's really not, I wouldn't say that's a smart thing to do, simply because in the end, you're going to be losing money.
Yeah.
Because you'll only get back a percentage of that income that you lost. So that would be the first thing. The second thing would be competition. So kind of like I said with Toro, like seeing what else is around you. If you're doing Manifestors apparel, for example, what other similar apparel would be a competition, and how do you differentiate yourself from them? And then the last thing, why are you doing it? Like, what is your purpose for creating this business? Is it solely to make money? Is it to better the community? Is it, really just figuring out what the reason is to you?
Yeah. So if we did like a little spiel real quick right now, and I was to ask you, what's your favorite thing to do? Like, what's your hobby? What's your favorite thing to do?
My hobby is, I enjoy buying cars, fixing them, and flipping them.
Okay, so that's your hobby. All right, so based off of that, ideally, probably you would go into Turo or whatever.
Right.
But it's like, what's your reasoning for going into Turo? Like, what's your why, your purpose?
So if I was going into Turo with that, it would probably be,
Or sorry, you said flipping, like completely,
Yeah.
like selling them.
So if I'm flipping them, it's going to be to provide a reliable car to people, and just making sure I'm not just giving somebody a car just to make a quick dollar.
Yeah.
Because like, I could go buy a car for $2,000 and know all the stuff is wrong with it and try to sell it for like triple the price.
Yeah.
But that's going to mess with my conscience. So I don't necessarily want to do that. I don't want that negative karma coming back to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, only reason I ask that is because it's like that simple. Like when people say they want to start a business, they want to start an LLC, what do you like? Like, what's your purpose behind it? Do you think, what's the competition look like? Like, literally, that's all it is. It's as simple as what you just said it, but a lot of people don't want to give that work and try to find and research and actually see, is this a profitable or marketable business? And who around me is in the same avenue, especially like in that geographic region.
Right.
Yeah, I can truly speak from experience. Especially starting with like Manifestors apparel. I just wanted to start it just to start it. Just to say like, oh yeah, we got apparel coming from Manifestors. I didn't truly take that deep dive into who are my competitors. Why am I truly doing this? Is it just to provide merch for us to wear on the show, or are we selling it? Stuff like that. So this year, not really any profit coming from it, just a lot of expenses.
Yeah.
I know for sure, like the first 2 years of a business or LLC, you can have like a net negative income and you'll be okay. But after that second year, if you're not making any profit, that's when red flags rises.
Yeah.
So yeah, I truly feel that. But one thing that I truly want to touch on is once we start the LLC, we have a great idea. We know it can be profitable, but we have no money.
Broke.
So, which tends to lead us to credit cards. So how can we leverage, well, first of all, how can we find the right credit card for our business? And then the second question is, how do we leverage that credit card to make a profit?
Got you. So I will say, as far as business credit cards go, I haven't used any personally. But what I will say is, although you may not have a business credit card, there's always other ways to get funding, whether that's going through a credit union, which is what I typically do. So, for example, there was a car that I wanted, and I'm like, this is a little bit out of the price range that I want to just, drop cash on. So I'm gonna go get a loan, and it's gonna be a personal loan. It's not gonna be a business loan, but I'm gonna go grab a loan, and once I get that loan, it will help fund the business venture that I'm trying to get into. Aside from that, you can always, well, I won't say always, but you can try to find people that that believe in you. But that comes with its own set of problems. Because if I decide, I'm going to go get a loan from my dad, for example, he's going to be like, all right, well, what's the payment terms? How long is it going to take you to pay me back? Monthly amount, all of that. And there may be some flexibility with that. Now with the bank, it's the same thing, but you have to pay them on time. It's no flexibility with them at all. And then, if it's a relative, that could also lead to them asking like, all right, well, I know I lent this to you like 2 months ago, but I need this all back like in the next week.
That agreement.
And it's not good business.
So I mean, shoot, well, that's the benefits or pros and cons to the way you went about it. Are there any other ways that you think you can find money off the top of your head, and like what's some benefits and cons to it also?
So,
in addition to that,
let's add say if I wanted to build a gym, all right. You already know we have to pay for the property and the equipment. So we'll round it up to $500K. We have like at least $10K in the bank right now.
Okay.
How do we find the rest of the money?
You're going to have to get some investors for that probably. Because unless you're able to show Manifestors has been profitable and they have been, and you're pretty much like, you can pay the amount of the loan consistently. I don't know how many credit unions or banks will be willing to just loan out $500K off the rip, because it's like we don't have any credibility for you. And so it's just a matter of, okay, if say you only able to get $100K from the bank, say you get $100K from that bank, maybe you could try another bank or other investors, or it'll really just be it'll just be about figuring out, what other resources are there, because there are resources out there, but it's a matter of finding them. And like I said, I haven't had to do that personally, so I'm not 100% sure where you would go for that.
Okay.
so shoot, I mean, even for the terms and agreements for like going through the bank, the way you went about it, how does that work? Because I know you said like you have to pay it back, but say if I just don't pay it back, what they gonna do?
Well, depends. So if it's a personal loan, so like I got like a $5,000 personal loan for a car. With that, if I didn't pay it back, they would probably start what they say, garnishing your wages. So like just to make sure they get their money back. If it's something that's attached to something, like if it's a car loan or if it's a mortgage, then they can start repossessing that to make up for the payment.
Yeah. No, that makes sense then. So like, what would you say, I guess, so you just have the car business right now, right? Or any other side hustles, if you don't mind me asking?
That's the main thing. Other side hustles, I bought a snowplow. And then, like I said, I buy and flip cars, but you only limit it to a certain amount that you can do a year. So,
Really?
that's really, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first I ever heard of that. I ain't know that.
If you do it more than 4 times, you are considered a dealer. So, yeah,
Sheesh. So 1 quarter each, you can flip a car.
pretty much.
Yeah,
So
no,
how do
that's
you narrow down the right car?
That's difficult. Because typically when I go look at a car, if it's something that I like and it's something that I'm like, all right, I can make some money off of this, I'll just be like, I'm gonna just go grab it. And it's not really a threshold of, all right, I think I can make X amount of profit on it. It's just I guess that's what it is.
It catches your eye.
Yeah, it catches my eye and my emotions get into it, which is the worst thing to do in business.
Yeah.
But Yeah, it's just a matter of if I think it's profitable and how much profit I can make from it. Then I decide like, all right, does this make sense? Does it not make sense?
So I mean, even with that, like, what would you say has been some of the most difficult things you've encountered, like with business, whether it's that industry or whether it's been plowing or Toro?
So it's not really about the business, and I think you gonna experience this at some point. It's more so about running everything by your spouse and making sure that they are comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Because let's just say there's been a few times where I bought some stuff without telling people, and it led to not arguments but just like conversations about just being open about what you're thinking about doing, because it not only affects you, it affects other people too.
Yeah.
That would be the main thing I would say for that.
And that was one thing I was about to kind of, it's gonna pivot off a little bit slightly, but I forgot who I was talking to the other day, but they were talking about how, like, when you're in a relationship and you have businesses or whatever you're doing, you got to make sure that even if you're making more money, it's our money, especially when you're married. It's not like it's my money because I'm like the breadwinner.
That's not what I've been hearing.
Is you the breadwinner? You just make all the decisions.
Look, bro, this is what I've been told growing up. Her money is her money.
Oh yeah, that's why.
My money is our money.
Hey, let's see how that go,
bro.
But no, I heard that too. But I mean, it just seems a bit more. I don't know. You just got to communicate in that aspect, though. That's all it is. Just communication.
That's the main thing.
That's all it is.
So you talked about the snowplow business. You talked about your Turo business.
Yep. And then
Flipping flops.
Yep.
That was dope with the whole 4-year. I never knew that.
I didn't know that
I
either.
never knew that.
So what other businesses are you looking to tap into?
Right now, man, I think I am more concerned about focusing on one, so that way I'm not being pulled in a bunch of different directions. Because like even now, like I work Monday through Friday, my 9 to 5, and then I work on the weekends too. And then I might have to go help my dad with plowing snow, and then I might have a customer that need to pick up a car for Turo. So that doesn't really leave much time for anything. Yeah. And so I kind of got to balance, work and pleasure, because I want to also be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. But if I'm not able to do that, it's kind of like, all right, well, why am I running around doing all this stuff?
Yeah.
Is it really worth it?
So do you feel building that team that can help you manage everything, but also help you expand at an exponential rate is very important?
I would say so. I would definitely say so. But I would also say that that's an issue that I have for myself. Like, I like to do everything on my own. I don't like to rely on people, because people usually are not on the same wavelength as you.
Yeah.
And they are usually not trying to do things it's just not as important to them, because it doesn't have to deal with them. So yeah, I think having a team is great, but it's a matter of making sure that team is
worthwhile.
Yeah, and that y'all are all on the same page.
So what are 3 characteristics that you look for in a person when building this team?
Number 1 is punctuality. Like, my time is very important to me. Number 2 is being a man or woman of your word. If you're going to do something, I really suggest that you do it, because otherwise I can't really count on you. And if we are in business together, we should definitely be able to count on each other. And the last thing, probably go back to what you said, loyalty, because I can't be in business with you if I'm not 100% confident, like, you have my best interest at heart. If we all are trying to do different things, then this is not going to work.
Yeah, no. Like we were talking about, when a certain amount of money is involved, people tend to act different, which I truly started to notice. People are truly starting to act different, especially when you've been working on something for so long, 2-3 years, and it finally pops. People will act like they've been there since the jump, but they haven't been. So, yeah, I feel like those characteristics, I'll say, are the same for me as well. Punctuality, loyalty, and if you're a man or a woman of your word. Like, are you going to do something that you said you was going to do?
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, mine will switch a little bit differently. It'll definitely be loyalty, punctuality. I'm still working on that. But like, if I know being on time is important for somebody else, though, like I'm not gonna even risk that. Like, I'm not even gonna put myself in that situation because I just know off rip that's disrespectful. Like, that's literally like you literally disrespecting somebody at that point.
bro, we know a couple friends that still do this to that day.
Hey, it is what it is. But for me, it's also like your willingness to like care for others, like outside of yourself. Cause like I just love helping people. So like if I can see based off of a person, the way you treat a janitor is the way you treat other people.
Yeah.
Like it shows a lot about somebody's character.
And actually, I got to give a bonus one. Because this was just something that we was just talking about. Being open to constructive criticism. Because we was just talking about how we might not like something as much on the previous podcast, but we're like, all right, well, what can be done to make this better? Or how can we make it, just make it flow better?
That drive for constant improvement.
Yeah.
And not just being like, oh, well, this is the way we've been doing it,
And
so
this is where it's gonna stay.
this is how it's gonna stay.
Yeah, no, that's one big issue that I see I see at work all the time in corporate America is just like it's my way or the highway. But at the same time, the only way you're gonna make a true improvement is to bring everybody in the room, and you can't just show up with problems. You have to show up with a solution. If you ready to identify a problem, you better have something. So like the why. So what's the reason why? Like the whole discussion we just had.
Yep.
All right, what's the thought process behind?
I mean,
And then it just helps to at least come up with something better.
this kind of ties into like the random question that I have. But everybody plays a role. Like, so say if I am great at identifying problems, problems that y'all don't see, you're great at making people feel comfortable. So that way, the people that are in the room that don't feel comfortable talking, that are just in their shell, you can bring it out of them, and we can have a more vibrant conversation. And then he's the solutions guy. I feel like everybody's personality play a role, which leads me to my question. Have you guys ever taken that 16 personality type test?
No, I was actually supposed to at work literally like 3 weeks ago.
Myers-Briggs
Yeah,
personality test
yeah,
thing.
that's what it is.
I think I have, but I have no idea what my results were.
I challenge everybody. I challenge you two and everybody watching to take that test.
You gonna drop it on here in the link or something? Just so they can tap in.
I will.
'Cause
Okay, you're right.
people need help. People need support.
You're right. I will. Just so you can see what type of person that you are. Like, I'm a protagonist, and reading what that is, I'm like, dang, that truly fits who I am. So I challenge everybody to take that test. I'll drop the link in the description. I'll drop the link on the clip when we post it on Instagram, YouTube, all that. So, yeah.
Shoot, now that we kind of transitioning, I feel like we can kind of transition into rapid fire right about now. No.
But nah, I feel like for me, the rapid fire question was just like an easy one.
So a little just about rapid fire. Pretty much rapid fire is a random question that helps you get to know the people on the podcast a little bit better. Just a tad bit. So these answers, it might have you looking at somebody sideways, but it just shows our personalities.
I got 3.
Good
right.
questions?
Yeah, this is really gonna sting y'all.
Oh my god.
I might get y'all in trouble.
Wait, females or something.
Oh no.
I gotta go home.
Are we sharing joint bank accounts? Yes or no?
Like in a relationship?
Yep. Are you
I can
going
answer
to?
that one.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I would say there should be
A joint?
three bank accounts. There should be one for yourself, one for your spouse, and one joint one. The joint one should be primarily for bills and saving, and the personal ones you can do whatever you want with, to an extent, obviously. Like, you don't want to just go be dropping a whole bunch of money on things, and not run it by your spouse, like I said earlier, like, because that could just lead to issues.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. I mean, I haven't experienced it yet, but that's kind of the discussion we've had.
Oh, you about there, bro?
No, I mean, that's the discussion we've had, though, along the line of, like, the joint having your own. Because, like, even with business, though, like, when you think about it, when you have a spouse and they have their own business, you got your business, I got my stuff. we gonna collab in certain stuff, but you still keep that over there, and I'm gonna keep this over here. Because at the end of the day, yes, people might see our lifestyle together, and they might love or like that. But at the same time, this is your focus. Like, this is your purpose. This is what you're here for. So you do that, I do this in the same way with an account, but we have something together too.
Yeah, I agree with that 3. Mine's, hers, ours. Because God forbid, if we end up getting a divorce, the only thing we truly have to split is the joint. I don't want you coming after mine. I don't want to be coming after yours. Which kind of leads to my next question. Well, we talking about prenups.
That's crazy.
What's up with these prenups? We signing them? Are we advocates? Are we not signing them?
I mean, so I'm not signing it, but I am an advocate for it, depending
You're
on
not
what
signing it.
No. A prenup?
Yeah, why not?
I'm not signing a prenup. I'm gonna leave it at that. On camera, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Why not? Why you not signing a prenup?
I'm not signing a prenup.
Okay.
Put the gun
You
down.
thought about it?
Huh?
You thought about it?
I ain't gonna lie, I have. And the only reason I have thought about it is because it's like the reason people typically think about a prenup is based off of, one, it's like what you bring to the table, but at the same time, it goes down to trust. If you don't trust your partner, or if you think it's going to come down to a point of where you're going to divide places, that's the destination you're going to end up getting to. If you already start out on a basis of where you don't trust the person next to you, you're probably going to end up there. But if I'm, say, a Bill Gates or something coming to the table, all right, we're going to have this discussion. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just, I'm based off of trust. I'm not signing a prenup. That's just me. But I do see why people do it.
So, kind of have the same answer as Tay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Simply because, like, you kind of start a relationship, well, the marriage off on the wrong foot. Because it's already like, if this happens, this is what we're going to do. When that shouldn't really be, like, your first thought. It should be like, all right, well, how are we going to work through whatever issues we have?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. That don't always work out, which is why people get a prenup in the first place. But I usually err on the side of caution. But in that aspect, I'm going to rely on my feelings. If my feelings are saying marry this person and I'm about to marry them, I'm going to hope that everything works out.
What about you? He said, sign that dotted line, baby. Sign that dotted line.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a push for it.
What's your reasoning, though?
Because just extra protection for me and you. Earlier, you talked about how people might grow apart in a relationship. That's a big factor, especially us still being young. People do grow apart.
Yeah,
anything can happen.
Yeah, that's facts.
Like truly anything can happen and truly make people start thinking a different way.
That's facts. That's facts.
So it's just a safety precaution for the both of us, not just me, you as well.
Yeah.
Because I can be super bitter if I get bald and fat and you want to leave me for...
You love doing
that. I'm sorry. But if I'm not doing my job, right, and it's been a long time since I haven't been doing my job.
It's been a long time coming, but I know you gonna have to lose some weight.
Yeah, see? But no, like, say if, like, I'm not doing my job, she get tired of it. It's been years. She just want to leave. And I'm bitter because she want to leave. I'm trying to take half of her or whatever. Like, people can do that. Yeah, we hear so many war stories about that. Working at UPS, bro, I heard a war story. Like, I had an employee, he was going through it.
They be ready to off themselves when they be going through it.
Bro, we had to. I had to do a wellness check on this dude.
They be
like, he ain't been to work in 4 days. Luckily, me and him was cool, and I been to his house a couple of times. I did a wellness check just out the kindness of my heart. Like, hey, bro, I know you going through it. You good? Yeah, he was just going through it. Like, people get bitter, especially like 10 years in. But, you know, prenups have a limit. But I see it as just a contract. It doesn't like, it's a contract. So say if X, Y, and Z happens, we split everything evenly. Just put that in the prenup.
I mean, I get that thought process. I agree. It's just me and trust. I just know I've already like lacked trust in the past, and that's been an issue that seems like relationships always struggle with trust and communication, and I'm just trying to avoid that trust aspect from the jump. Because if I'm gonna marry you, I trust you, and hey, I expect the same. But
Like I said,
I get it. People do grow apart.
people grow apart.
I
We
get it.
hear so many war stories.
Yeah,
We didn't seen it.
Yeah, but no, shoot. Just really, it's just a couple more questions. We near the end now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right at the end. It's more so personal though. Okay. So like, with you having multiple businesses, how do you build your structure? Like, what's your routine look like? Because I know you want to spend time with the wifey. How you do that?
So I typically plan my days like the day before,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's something like that's very important, like I put it on my calendar, and I just let her know like, hey, I got to do X, Y, and Z today. So if we don't talk that much, this is why.
Yeah.
But tomorrow we gonna do whatever you want to do. So that kind of makes up for it. But as far as the structure goes, it's more like, like I said, just really making sure I plan my day. Because if I don't plan my day, then nothing's going to get done. If I don't say, I got to go to the gym, I got to work, and I got to walk the dog, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to sit at the house, play games all day, watch Netflix, and just chill. It would pretty much be a waste of the day. And one thing about me is that I enjoy being productive, but when I had that time to just do whatever, I take full advantage of it.
Yeah.
So structure is definitely important.
No, definitely.
What'd you say, Dev?
I have to plan my day as well. My habits are kind of like my structure. 4:30 in the morning, wake up.
30.
Yeah, it depends on if I'm working from home.
5:30.
It depends on if I'm working from home or if I'm going to the office. 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'll wake up, read a devotional, pack my lunch, eat breakfast, meditate, pray, then get ready. Then I'm out the door at the office around like 6:45, 7. If I'm working from home, I'm starting to go to the gym in the morning. So 4:30, wake up, take my thermogenic, do a couple push-ups, get pumped, read my devotional, pray a little bit, meditate for 5 minutes. Then I'm out the door, going to the gym. Quick hour workout, come back, log in, boom. If I don't have a structure, if I don't have like 3 goals,
That's right.
because we can have 5, 6 goals for that day, I noticed that I'm rarely accomplishing all those goals. So
I gotta agree with you on that.
narrow
yourself
those
in,
goals
yeah.
down to the top 3. What do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
I need to record this podcast. I need to select the clips from this podcast. I need to edit this video for this client.
That's it. That's 3.
Or I gotta finish this course to get my green belt in 6 Sigma. I gotta clean the house. I gotta wash these dishes. What's the top 3?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And narrowing that down, but also making sure my habits align with the goals that I truly want to hit. Like I have habits of reading 10 to 15 pages every day. That's a book a month. That's a goal I wanted to hit. Mondays are Market Mondays for EYL. Making sure I'm watching that. Making sure I eat healthy. Go to the gym almost every day. And yeah, just making sure my habits align with my goals.
No, I feel it. Yeah, mine, typically I was going to ask y'all that too. Like, where do y'all brainstorm the most, or like, where do y'all think the most? But like, for
On
me,
the toilet.
it is. I was about to say, for me, it's either in the bathroom, on the toilet, or when I'm driving. Like, I can kind of just clear my head and then kind of brainstorm, and I get a lot of stuff done while I'm mentally driving. But yeah. But I was going to say, typically, like, my car ride home or car ride to the gym is where I truly start planning for the next day, at least mentally. And then, like, after the gym, before I even go into the crib, I'll sit in my car for like 15 minutes every day. And I just sit there and I think about, all right, what did I do today? What have I done based off of what I wanted to do? Did I accomplish certain things? And then also for tomorrow, what's like my schedule looking like as far as something added to the list of my normal routine? So I try to add one thing to that list. So like, wake up in the morning, pray with my girl, read a devotional. Yeah, we actually started praying together, like in the morning. before she leave out. Yeah, so we pray together.
That's so cute.
I end up reading at least a chapter in the Bible. If not a chapter, at least a few scriptures just to get that word in my mind. Might go in the gym in the morning, might go later. Kind of varies based on the day. Go to work. Once work's over, all right, what do I have to accomplish based off of my own personal life? Like, do I need to clean up? Do I need to look up some things as far as like topics that I want to focus on? Is it something I want to learn new about? Like as far as like kind of finances in that aspect? Is it something family related? But I've really started taking a step back away from all the let me do for others and more so started focusing on let me do for me.
Yeah.
Because you end up losing yourself so much when you start focusing on all right, just move, and you constantly doing for others. But what have I truly gained for myself in the past year? What have I truly gained for myself in the past week? And it's like really setting that timeline and looking at where's my space of where I've enjoyed some me time. And that's where I'm in the car, that's where I'm at the gym, and that's where I'm on the toilet. And those are my 3 spots, bro. That's my 3 spots. But what's your spots?
I'm going to answer that question, but that's what I realized during this fast. Not being on social media, my head is clear.
Man.
And I realize we are influenced a lot throughout the day.
They said we take in more information now than a person would in a lifetime back in, I think it was like the 1800s.
Yes.
In one day, we take in more information.
Yes. So with that being said, what I've truly been doing is, all right, what's the one podcast I'm going to listen to all day? I'm going to listen to this one podcast, even if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, hour, 2 hours long, all day. That's the only thing I'm going to listen to all day. Write my notes. All right, how can I apply this to my life? And then on this fast, I've been truly being creative. Like how you said, we take in more and we don't produce. We take in more, produce less. I'm trying to take in less, produce more. You already know I be coming up with ideas left and right. So taking in less, putting out more. Actually becoming like the content creator that I'm kind of destined to be.
Yeah.
So, but mine be random. You'll randomly get a text from me.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
It randomly smacks me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You'd be like, bro. I'm like, what?
I thought about texting you the other day because I got an idea, but
It's just be so random.
it randomly just hits me. I'm like that.
Hey, we still got to do 313, or no, we got to do a 1-800 reliable hitters. We got another hitter now, and he got a plow too. We're gonna tell you about it after this. We're gonna tell you about it.
That's gonna be a hit.
It's funny. It's funny for sure. But yeah, no. How about you? Where you do your most brainstorming at? Like, what's your spot?
It's not a
If you have
spot. Yeah, it's not really a spot for me. It's kind of like you said, Dev. Like whenever an idea comes to my head, I just have to write it down. If I don't write it down, then it's gone, like forever. Cause I might be in the shower and be like, oh, I could post this on Instagram. As soon as I get out, I'm like, damn, what was I supposed to be posting? And like, just being able to write down whatever ideas I have, that's like the most important thing for me. Like, whether I'm at work, I got to stop doing whatever I'm doing and write it down at that point. Otherwise, it's just gone forever. And I forgot what the quote says exactly, but it pretty much says, like, you don't want to be on your deathbed with all of the potential ideas and all the things that you could have accomplished, like, just surrounding you. And, like, that has always been something that, like, haunted me. Like, dang, like, what if I was the only one that was meant to do X, Y, and Z, and now it didn't get done? So now I'm kind of like, all right, even if I don't get X, Y, and Z done, whoever get my phone, they're going to have access to all the ideas that I have now. So they got the opportunity to get it done.
The graveyard is for sure the richest place. All the dreams and aspirations die. It's raps. But back to that, would you say that's your most favorite quote, like the thing you live by as far as quotes or sayings?
No, my favorite quote by far is, in order to be successful, you must be willing to do the things today that others won't in order to have the things tomorrow that others won't have.
Who said that?
Les Brown.
Yeah, I was about to say it definitely
So-
sounds real familiar.
You can't be expecting to have things and not be working towards it.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes back to like faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
Prime example, I want a track hawk. I've been wanting a track hawk for years.
Yeah.
But I can't be stagnant and expect it to just appear out of nowhere.
Just drop me a
I
lot.
can't just expect, things, like you said, to just drop in my lap, because that's not how things work. You got to work towards it. And, people usually just see like the tip of the iceberg with things. They'll just be like, oh, he got a house, he got a car, he got this podcast. And they don't see all the work that you put in to get it. And, that's one thing I'm an advocate for. That's kind of why I like show my like gym progress a little bit, because I'm like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but the reason that I'm making this progress is because I'm making a step in the right direction almost every day.
Yeah, the gym is one of the most, like, the places that you will truly see delayed gratification. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen overnight. I don't care who you are unless you just stick in. But even then, you still got to kind of go and still got to do something.
You got a quote you live by?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I know you're not going to like this because I've actually, like, started living by this. But your perception is your reality. It truly is. Like, the way you see life, that's the way you live. That's your reality. And you can carry that on in any aspect. Like, the reason you living broke right now is because, like, in your head,
mentality.
yeah, you got a broke mentality. If you rich, it's because you work to get that mentality. Like, books, whatever you had to do it. But, like, your perception is your reality.
I feel that.
How about you?
For me, I don't know who originally said it, but I know I heard it from Nipsey. It's would you rather be at peace with the world and at war with yourself, or would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the world? For so long, I truly been ghost. Honestly, I've been sitting on so many ideas, but letting that fear stop me. And I was legit fighting a war within me because I felt like I'm dope. I need people to know how dope I am, or I want people to see like my creative abilities. I'm tired of being unknown, but that fear of judgment, that fear of being criticized, or that fear of just people seeing me as my past self was stopping me from being who I am meant to be. But now I'm choosing to have peace with myself. I really don't care what people say. My content is going to get out there. I'm going to work towards my goals no matter what. So choosing to be at peace with yourself and at war with the world. Because ain't nobody going to have your back like you.
That's facts.
Honestly.
That's literally facts. I mean, on that note, it was really a mic drop. I know both of y'all are really like good at reading books. I'm not, so I'm not gonna do this question. But would y'all, if you had to recommend one book, real quick, one book, just give me one.
Pick a topic.
What's your most memorable book that you live by and you truly like resonate with? It don't matter if it's
Multiple.
life or finances, whatever it is to you.
I mean, can I get like 4 or 5?
You have
3.
one.
3.
You have one.
Meet me in the middle. 3.
No, that's
3.
not the middle.
Meet me in the middle. I said 4 or 5.
Give me 2.
3,
please.
3.
I could do that. I could do 2 simply because I'll be straightforward. My issue is not reading. Well, my issue is partially reading books, but my main issue is retaining the information.
Yeah, same. Man.
So
And reading.
what I started doing, this is an app called Notion, where you can like pretty much take notes and categorize it however you want. So like right now I'm reading this book called No Excuses by Brian Tracy. And so I have all my notes from that book in there. I have pictures from the book of questions that he wanted you to ask yourself. I have that in Notion. So by default, I would say that that's one of them, simply because that's one that I'm reading right now. And it's very impactful. It's forcing me to look at myself, forcing me to realize like where I'm falling short and what I need to improve upon. And then the second one is not something that I live by every day. I'm going to be straightforward, but the Bible. Simply because it's like the rule book for life. And like I said, it's not something that I'm able to implement every single day because we all fall short. But that one is it's number 1 for me.
I'll say for me, Number 1 is The Way of the Superior Man. That book I read 3 times. It touches relationships. It touches how you should be as a man. It touches finances. It touches everything. It touches everything you need to know to be a superior man. I say that's number 1. And then number 2 is the book that I'm currently reading is Think and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill.
Oh yeah, I listened to that Audible a few times.
You have to read it. Listening to it does not do it justice. You have to read it.
Yeah, no, I don't do well with reading.
You have to do well reading this book. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, I retain better with actually listening. That's what I was talking to.
Do a read along because
I was talking to my girl about that the other day.
listening. It depends on if you're like.
I take notes. No, I take notes when I listen. Though.
If you actively listen.
Yeah,
it's not just playing in the background.
Yeah, no, I actually like listen and take notes.
But that book is truly teaching me I think it's 12 rules of how to think and grow rich. And everything is truly mental.
Mm-hmm.
It's that desire, passion, having a definite plan. Bro, it's everything. And obviously, Bible, that would be my 3. I'm going to give you 3 anyway. I don't care what you say.
I mean, I don't read enough, but I'm just going to say the Bible. That's about it, for real. Like, that's the only thing I've actually been kind of consistent with, and I've actually been retaining it for once.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like, that's probably the most important book. So.
Yeah. Like, that's the only one I've been retaining for real.
For us, it's a given, but for other people, it might not.
Yeah. I mean, hey, but whatever it is, just at least have a book. Just try. I've been trying for a while, and I'm actually I'm understanding now. But, like, to that point, though, me and reading just don't go together. I'm going to be honest. When I read it 4 times, like the same sentence, and I just don't understand it.
And that's okay.
I'm like...
And that's okay. It might take you 4 times. It might take me twice. It might take him 5 times. As long as you truly are trying to understand what it says.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I was saying try that Audible. If you're the same way as me with that, like try the Audible or try the read along. Like pull the actual physical book out and like how Deb was saying, try it. That helps also though. But I just can't. Me and just reading just not work.
But I know for sure, like the only book that I listen to that everybody should just listen to is Outwitting the Devil.
Yeah, because you got to hear that voice.
Because the book is pretty much, there's a guy having a conversation with the devil. Reading it, it can be kind of crazy to separate the two.
Is that by Napoleon Hill also?
I think so.
But yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's smooth. Try that boy on Audible.
I meant to ask Ruffin about that one. How you felt about that book.
But yeah, no, that's Manifestors episode number 20.
Episode 20.
That's wild. Had you on for 20, about time.
Bro, we about to hit
Yes,
we about to hit 50 by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because consistency is definitely a focus this year. But hey, this your boy Tay.
This your boy Dev.
Calvin.
And that's Manifestors episode number 20.
Calvin.
Peace.
Calvin.